I'm just going to take these away.
Hold on a second. I want to go to Jake. Jake, what's going on?
We're expecting Joe Biden to come out and make some public remarks at his drive-in amphitheater there in Wilmington, Delaware. Here he is, I believe. Let's listen in.
Your patience is commendable. We knew this was going to go long, but who knew we were going to go into maybe tomorrow morning, maybe even longer. But look, we feel good about where we are. We really do. I'm here to tell you tonight, we believe we're on track to win this election. We knew because of the unprecedented early vote and the mail-in vote that it's going to take a while. We're going to have to be patient until the hard work of tallying votes is finished. And it ain't over till every vote is counted. Every ballot is counted. But we're feeling good. We're feeling good about where we are. We believe one of the Nets has suggested we've already won Arizona, but we're confident about Arizona. That's a turnaround. We also just called it for Minnesota, and we're still in the game in Georgia, although that's not one we expected. And we're feeling real good about Wisconsin and Michigan. And by the way, it's going to take time to count the votes. We're going to win Pennsylvania. I've been talking to folks in Philly, Allegheny County, Scranton, and they're really encouraged by the turnout and what they see. Look, you know, we could know the results as early as tomorrow morning, but it may take a little longer. As I've said all along, it's not my place or Donald Trump's place to declare who's won this election. That's the decision of the American people. But I'm optimistic about this outcome. And I want to thank every one of you who came out and voted in this election. And by the way, Chris Coons and the Democrats, congratulations here in Delaware. Hey, John, the Gov, yeah, the whole team, man. You've done a great job. I'm grateful to the poll workers, to our volunteers, our canvassers, everyone who participated in this democratic process. I'm grateful to all my supporters here in Delaware and all across the nation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And folks, you heard me say it before. Every time I walk out of my grandpa's house up in Scranton, he'd yell, "Joey, keep the faith." And my grandma, when she was alive, yelled, "No, Joey, spread it. Keep the faith, guys. We're going to win this." Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your patience is great. Let's walk over here.
All right, former Vice President Joe and former Second Lady Jill Biden thanking supporters for their patience, talking about how they think it's going to take a little while, but they still feel confident about what's going to happen in Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania. Patience. The former Vice President called for patience, Dana, and he said he's been saying that for a long time, and if that's true, he has been saying that it's going to take a long time to count the votes because of the pandemic and all the vote by mail.
And frankly, Donald Trump is doing exactly the same thing. We're waiting on Arizona, we're waiting on Georgia, but it's still going to come down to Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania.
Let's go to Jim Acosta right now for an update on where he where the president's team thinks they are. Jim?
Yeah, Jay, and we should just point out, the president just tweeted a few moments ago that he will be making a statement tonight. He is describing his performance in the 2020 election as a big win. He also says we are up big, but they're trying to steal the election. We'll never let them do it. Votes cannot be cast after the polls are closed. Of course, the president there saying, misspelling the word polls, misuse of that word there. But the other thing we should point out, as we were reporting, we were expecting the president to perhaps try to declare victory on election night when he doesn't have victory at hand. And that appears to be what the president is on the verge of doing. I talked to a Trump advisor not too long ago who said now that Joe Biden has gone out and said what he has said. We should expect the president to come out and essentially say the same thing, that they feel like they're going to win this election. So we should be hearing from the president within the next hour or so, essentially saying the same thing, that they believe they have won this election. But I will tell you, there is great distress inside the Trump campaign right now. I talked to a couple advisors just a short time ago. They are very upset that one of the other networks has called Arizona for Joe Biden. They have been trying to convince the other networks to not call Arizona for Joe Biden. They're worried that if Arizona goes to Joe Biden, that their path to victory then narrows. As one advisor said to me, if we lose Arizona, we have to win Wisconsin. That's because at this point, they don't believe they'll win Michigan. And so, you know, you get a sense of some of the desperation inside the Trump campaign. A lot of them are very confident. They still think the president will pull it out. And obviously, the president is tweeting that he's very confident. He thinks he's going to win tonight. But certainly some anxiety inside the campaign right now, especially about Arizona right now, Jake.
All right, Jim, thanks so much. The fact that the president misspelled polls is just chef's kiss. I do want to say a couple things. First of all, the fact that no one's trying to steal the election, counting votes is how this works. And the idea that the president immediately says that is just factually incorrect. That said, they are also trying to make the exact opposite argument in Arizona, because as Jim noted, a different network called Arizona for Biden. We have not, and most networks have not. The governor of Arizona came out, a Republican, Governor Ducey, and said, count all the votes. That's the argument that the Trump campaign is making when it comes to Arizona. It should be the argument they're making for every state.
I can't believe you're looking for consistency.
Count all the votes. But let me just give one other insight as to why Vice President Biden was projecting optimism. And again, I have no idea how this is going to end. Certainly either candidate could win. But the perspective of the Biden team is, remember how Virginia